All right, so today we have a clip here. It's just audio, no video, of Fox News' Mark Levin, the serious Fox News host. He only does a show once a week because he's the serious Fox News host, talking about Jordan Neely, Daniel Penny, and how he is being charged. Daniel Penny, the Marine who murdered Jordan Neely, is being charged with second-degree murder, and also just saying some very nasty things about Jordan Neely. Here it is.
If you live in a major city in America, I mean a major city, one of the big ones, you need to get out.
Yeah, you need to get out now, before it's too late.
Former Marine expected to be charged with manslaughter and Jordan Neely chokehold death. Attorneys for the 24-year-old former Marine have said there was no way he could have foreseen that his bid to subdue an alleged perceived threat would turn deadly. Jordan Neely's family says that amounts to a confession.
I mean, it does. It doesn't matter if he couldn't have foreseen Jordan Neely's untimely death, because I have seen that statement that was released from Daniel Penny's lawyers. Then he shouldn't have put him in a chokehold. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. Now, the one thing that we do know, because details on what exactly happened are kind of differing, especially where you go and research, one thing we do know is Jordan Neely did not physically attack or touch anyone. He did not do anything. He did not physically touch or attack anybody. So if you want to sit there and say, there's no way that this Marine could have foreseen him dying, yes, he could have. Because if he hadn't been in that chokehold, he'd probably still be alive today. It is as simple as that.
I will say this to Jordan Neely's family. I'm sorry you lost your son.
No, you're not. Shut the fuck up. Every next thing that he is about to say about Jordan Neely is undeniable proof that he does not care that Jordan Neely died. You guys heard what he said. I'm sorry you lost your son. Now listen to everything else this motherfucker says.
But your son was a disgrace.
Yeah. So he deserved to die. He deserved to die. According to Mark Levin, he was a disgrace, so he deserved death.
Your son was threatening people.
Now again, I know I keep pausing it, but this is where the details, we do not know if that is 100% true. We don't know if he was really threatening some people, okay? There is a lot of video that we have from this incident. I cannot show any of that video here because YouTube will restrict my video. But some witnesses said that Neely allegedly acted very aggressively toward other riders and threatened to harm them, the News Nation reported. Vasquez, who recorded the video, said Neely was in the chokehold position for about 15 minutes. Now, no one, at least on the video that we have, we didn't see Jordan Neely threatening anybody. And apparently, he did say stuff like, I don't care, I don't want to live anymore, I'm ready to die, I'm ready to go to jail. He began to say a somewhat aggressive speech saying he was hungry, he was thirsty, he didn't care about anything, he didn't care about going to jail, and he didn't care that he gets a big life sentence. But there's no actual specific, we know that this is something that he said, because this quote is everywhere. But there's no actual specific threats that have been put forth yet. There's not any actual proof that he was really threatening people. He might have been acting in a threatening way. People might have been perceiving him as a threat. But again, depending on where you look, we don't know if that part is even actually true. Regardless whether it's true or not, he still didn't deserve to die. He still did not deserve to die, regardless whether that's true or not. But apparently Mark Levin has a different take on it.
Your son had been in prison repeatedly. This is the worst argument I hear people make. They say, well, he was a criminal. He had a criminal past. Guess what? No one on that subway knew that shit. Nobody that got in that subway with Jordan Neely knew that he had a criminal past. And I swear to God, if people are going to sit there and make the case and say, the Marine might have known. He might have seen him before. He might have known about his criminal record. No, the fuck he didn't. Did he have a criminal past? Yes, he did. Did that mean he deserved to die? Absolutely fucking not. Nowhere does it say that you deserve to die because you have a criminal past. Someone else does not have the right to take someone else's life. And again, nobody knew about his criminal record, so that shit does not matter at all. It's not even a straw man. It's nothing. That is the worst argument I have ever heard anyone make. He was a criminal. Great, Donald Trump's a criminal. Do you hear people calling for him to be fucking killed? No, you don't. Because that's fucking insane. He was a criminal. He had a criminal past. That does okay. Jordan Neely murdered him. Jordan Neely's gonna have a criminal past too now because he's a fucking murderer. So talk about that, Mark Levin.
Your son was on a bad track. Your son punched an old woman in the face.
That didn't happen on the subway. That did not happen on the subway. Daniel Penny did not know about that. Nobody in that subway train knew about Jordan Neely's criminal record except for Jordan Neely.
Meanwhile, this 24-year-old served his country as a United States Marine.
Oh, boo fucking who. Shut the fuck up with that stupid shit. It doesn't matter if he was a Marine. It doesn't matter if he was in the Army. It doesn't matter if he was part of the National Guard. It doesn't matter if he was part of Space Force. It doesn't matter what branch of the military he's a part of. I don't give a fuck if he's a veteran. He does not have the right to take someone else's life. He does not have that right. He does not have the right to put Jordan Neely in a chokehold for 15 minutes and murder him. He's dead. I don't care if he was a Marine. Fucking great. He was a Marine. That doesn't matter to me at all. That does not fucking matter. I don't care if he served the country. He did a terrible fucking thing, and he needs to face consequences for that thing. It's as simple as that. Cause and effect. This is not hard.
He's not going to be charged with second-degree manslaughter.
Okay, great.
And
Perfect.
God knows if it'll get worse.
So apparently, at least from what I've read, second-degree manslaughter carries a maximum penalty of 15 years in prison. At least from what I've read. I don't know if that's true.
A good Samaritan.
No. Yeah, a good Samaritan. It's my favorite story in the Bible. The Good Samaritan was on the subway and he murdered an unarmed black man. It's my favorite story in the Bible. A good Samaritan who just happens to also, be murdering someone in the middle of his good deed. Makes perfect sense.
Good Samaritan cannot be sure what's going to happen when he or she steps in to try and protect a subway car full of people. Hey,
buddy, you want to know what? It's not anyone else's job. He's literally advocating for vigilantism. Is he not? Is that not what this is? That's literally what he's advocating for. This motherfucker is literally advocating for vigilantism. I thought that they were pro-cop, but then you're saying a good Samaritan might not know what'll happen if you step in. It's not your job to step in, okay? It's not your job to step in this scenario that Mark Levin is completely making up here. Okay? What do you mean? What are you talking about? This is insane.
That chokehold that he had on Neely, to be honest with you, I've seen that chokehold when I watch MMA, particularly UFC.
Oh, Mark Levin's the chokehold expert now. Now Mark Levin's, he's going to educate us. I don't think he's going to speak on it anymore, but Mark Levin, he knows about chokeholds. Mark Levin, he knows something. He's watched MMA. He turned on an MMA fight one night, so if Mark Levin's gonna know about which chokeholds kill you and which don't, he's the guy to ask.
I've seen it.
Okay, I've seen chokeholds too in professional fights, buddy. Nice. Okay, that was nothing.
But the point is, if Neely hadn't been threatening other citizens on the subway car, none of this would have happened. So I don't know.
No. If Daniel Penny had not put him in a chokehold, none of this would have happened. Okay? Don't get it backwards now. Don't make up bullshit. It was Daniel Penny whose actions of putting Jordan Neely in a chokehold for 15 minutes plus and killing him murdering him, that is the reason we are where we're at right now. That is the reason I'm making a video about this. That's the reason Mark Levin is talking about this. That's the reason the media is talking about what Daniel Penny's being charged with, because if he had never done that, we would not be having this conversation. No one would be talking about this because Jordan Neely would probably still be alive today.
What his family means that it's a confession. But I'm telling you, if you live in that city, or my home city of Philadelphia or whatever, get the hell out. Because once law and order breaks down...
I love hearing the Republicans, especially Fox News hosts, talk about law and order when these people eat Trump's shit up like it's a fucking steak coated in gold. They fucking want to talk about law and order, and they suck Trump's cock like there's no tomorrow, when Trump is one of the worst people. He's literally fucking a traitor. He's treasonous. And they want to talk about law and order. I am not going to listen to fucking anyone from Fox News, especially not Mark Levin, talk about law and order being broken down when I know he doesn't give a fuck about law and order. He gives a fuck about law and order when it's someone like Jordan Neely, an unarmed black man, being killed. That's when Mark Levin suddenly cares about law and order.
And the good guy's the bad guy? There's no hope.
No. No, a murderer is not... How is the murderer a good guy? How is the guy that killed someone else, how is he the good guy? How? How is he the good guy? Show me. Explain this scenario to me.
And when your fellow citizens keep voting for the same political party that is destroying your city.
Hey, man, they're probably voting for the Democrats because the Democrats, at the very least, have some interest in helping out, the American citizens. I mean, there's a reason people vote Democrat.
There's no hope.
There's no hope. There's no hope for America because they're charging this 24-year-old Marine with second-degree manslaughter because he murdered someone. There's no hope, guys. America's done. We're over. It's a sad day. It's such a sad day. There's no hope.
Get up and get out. Now, some of you can't.
This is so
I
dumb.
got it. But if you can and you're thinking about it, stop thinking about it.
If you had to, I don't know how old Mark Levin is, but if you, someone walked up on the street and asked me, they played this audio for me and they were like, guess how old this person is, I would guess 73 years old, because it's just the most old man thing to say. You need to get out. You need to get out now. You need to get away from them big Democrat cities. It's just straight, old fucking conservative white male politics. I mean, it's just the most basic shit ever.
Because this is outrageous. So rather than a hero now, he's a defendant.
Yep, that's how it works. That's how it works. And he was just talking about it. There's this thing called Law and Order, Mark. I don't know if you know about it. You just brought it up, but apparently you don't know about it. Yep, that's how it works. You murder someone, you have to stand trial. That's how it works.
By a Soros DA.
Soros DA.
Who will do everything he can to punish this Marine.
Yep. So the reason that he's saying Soros DA is because Alvin Bragg is the one the district attorney who is actually heading up this case and these charges being brought against Daniel Penny, and he says it's a George Soros backed district attorney. Soros donated to a PAC that did support Alvin Bragg, but Soros did not directly donate to Alvin Bragg. And also, it wasn't even that much money, at least compared to what George Soros was actually worth. But it doesn't matter anyway. George Soros is one of the oldest fucking people. He's just an old-ass fucking person. He's so old. He's not doing anything. A lot of people say, oh, Soros this, Soros that. He's, behind the scenes, pulling the strings, New World Order type shit. No, he's not. The Soros thing is just a Republican conspiracy theory, and I'm sure most of you have already heard this a million times.
I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick of this bastard brag. I'm sick of all these left-wing, phony, fraud prosecutors.
Then get the fuck out. If you're sick of left wing, if you're sick of people that are left wing and you're sick of Democrats, get the fuck out. Leave. Go to another fucking country. I'm serious. This is literally what I tell people. They don't like it. If you don't like the Democrat policies, if you don't fucking like it, you can fucking go. Leave. Move somewhere else. He was just sitting there telling people to get out. If you don't like it, bitch, leave.
I'm sick of all these spoiled, liberal, white millennials.
I know that I did not just hear Mark Levin, Fox News host Mark Levin, talk about spoiled white people. I'm honestly taken aback by that. Look in the fucking mirror, you absolute fucking buffoon. Holy shit. How out of touch is this guy? How far withdrawn from reality is Mark Levin? Oh my god. What a fucking piece of shit. What a disgusting piece of trash. This guy is terrible. What an awful human being.
Who protest on behalf of tyranny. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, guys. Who protest on the behalf of tyranny, because January 6th, that's not real. Donald Trump trying to overturn the election, that's not real, right? Right? What planet does this motherfucker live on? Levin planet?
That's why I don't live among it. Not anymore. Every now and then my wife or...
Yeah, I live out in the boonies. I live off the grid. You'll never find me. I live up in the mountains in a cave far, far away from all of the disgusting, deplorable human beings. Ugh.
Another family member says, let's go have dinner in Washington. I said, not me. I want nothing to do with Washington.
So Mark Levin's just like he really is just like a grumpy old man who doesn't like to go outside and do anything, doesn't like to go out with his family. He really is just a sad, old, grumpy old man.
There's a reason we live 40 miles away. I don't want to go there.
It's not that far.
I don't want to go into any of these cities. I just don't.
Then don't. Then don't do it. Then just don't. Okay, great. That's great.
Because if somebody tries to hurt me or even more my wife or another family member, I'm not surrendering. And so I know what'll happen.
What does that mean? I know people. I personally do know people because this has been said to me before. You know, they say, well, I need to have a firearm on me at all times, because what if someone comes up and robs me? What if I'm at the gas station and someone comes up and does this or does that? And Mark Levin says, if someone comes at me, I am not going to surrender. What is going to happen to you? What are you so afraid of? What are you scared of? Ironically, again, and Levin's not going to say it like this. No, none of the conservatives are, but it's actually the Marine. It's actually the 24-year-old Marine, Daniel Penny, who killed someone else. Jordan Neely wasn't killing anybody. He wasn't murdering anyone. He wasn't even touching anybody. But he's dead. He's the one who's dead. So, Mark Levin can sit here and say, I'm not going to surrender. Who surrendered? Jordan Neely didn't get to make the decision. He didn't get to he did not make the decision to surrender his life. He got his life taken from him. So I don't want to hear any of this bullshit from Mark Levin. It's so ridiculously dumb. He's never been in a position like Jordan Neely was in. He'll never be in a position like that ever. And it's just ridiculous.
Something horrific. Or if I manage to protect myself or a family member, I'll lose everything. Because the system is not a just system. System about equity.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's how it's supposed to be. Equity. That's supposed to be a part of the system. And I think the criminal justice system. I think that the criminal justice system does need quite quite the reform. I think that there are so many things that we need to change about our criminal justice system. But, Mark Levin, I guarantee you, probably thinks that we need to change our justice system for many different reasons than I would say.
Which means I can't win. Even
Win
if I'm
what?
the good guy. Even if it's self-defense.
It wasn't self-defense. It was not self-defense. Shut the fuck up with this self-defense bullshit. It was not self-defense.
So I don't want to live in a society like that. So I don't want to be in those areas.
Then
I don't want to be.
leave, bro.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. No, yeah, Levin, you're right. It's that simple. It's so simple. All you need to do is pack your bags, get your family together, and get the fuck out of America and never look back. Because if you really hate it that much, fucking get out. Leave. We don't want you here anyway. But that's going to be it for the video. If you guys like the video, please hit the like button. It helps me out so much. Guys, let me know what you thought down in the comments. I know I'm not great at responding to the comments, but I read each and every single comment that you guys leave me. Hit the subscribe button, press that little bell, turn on notifications so you guys don't miss one. I will see you guys tomorrow.